And Google and Microsoft, two stocks we're tracking today. Google is higher while Microsoft is dropping. That is because Google is planning to release a computer operating system to rival Microsoft's Windows. And we're joined now by Jeff Lindsay, a senior internet analyst at Sanford C. Bernstein. Jeff, great to talk with you. Thanks so much for being with us. And of course, the question here is this new operating system from Google, I mean, how much of a threat is it to Windows?
Well, it's quite a big threat. It is actually quite a big deal, but it won't be for probably about a year to 18 months before you see any significant impact.
Okay. And in terms of the impact, though, I mean, can you gauge at this point? I know we're still in the beginning of it.
Well, at the minute, it's really just an extension of Google's Chrome and Android strategies. Chrome is already available, and it's got about 30 million users. It's taken quite a bit of browser share from Microsoft. In terms of Android, that is now being used on netbooks because it's free. And so a combination of those two strategies would give you a very low-cost operating system for netbooks, and that is something that Google would hope to push into the PC space eventually. But that strategy would take 12 to 18 months.
But walk me through, Jeff, exactly why Google will want to go against the giant of operating systems, Microsoft. I mean, what in the end game, what is it that they're trying to get?
Well, I think really there's a sort of undeclared Cold War between Microsoft and Google, and this is just another manifestation of that phenomenon. Really, the two have been competing on browsers, on basically search engines, and so it's really just another escalation. The operating system market is actually very attractive. It's tens of billions of dollars worldwide. It's not clear if Google are proposing to charge for this operating system, but Microsoft is very vulnerable. So overall, it's not clear whether this is really a positive for Google, but it's definitely a negative for Microsoft. Okay,
now what can Microsoft do then on the flip side? What can they do against Google?
Well, I think they've already provoked it. I think Microsoft has started to really escalate their activities in the search engines with their new search engine Bing, which is just an adaptation of their existing strategy, but really it's quite forcefully aggressive. And so that probably has provoked Google into coming out with, a retaliatory strategy itself. And so really Google has combined several products together and has put them together into something which they can really challenge Microsoft with.
And you mentioned earlier, Jeff, that it's not clear whether or not Google would actually charge users for this. I mean, should they or should they not? Is cost going to become an issue?
Well, it certainly is, and so Google have to be careful what they get into here, because if you make an operating system, you now have to support it, and people will use it on any PC dating back to the old 286s, and will probably be very attracted to it because it's potentially a free upgrade. And so if they use it, then you have to support it. Also, in addition, the software manufacturers who write applications, for example, things like Quicken or Adobe Photoshop, they also have to adapt to it, and so you have to support them as well.
Okay, and finally, Jeff, I mean, in terms of Google introducing this first on the netbooks, is that a smart move? What are they trying to, I guess, who are they trying to target in that sense?
Yeah, I think Microsoft's first vulnerability happened in netbooks because their existing XP and Vista operating systems are really very large, especially Vista. And so that opened up the opportunity for someone to make a small, lightweight operating system. Now, Google already had Android, which they were using for mobile phones, and that adapted very well. And so this is really an extension of that strategy.
Okay, Jeff, thanks so much for joining us on this story. Interesting development there between Microsoft and Google. Jeff Lindsay of Sanford C. Bernstein. And more